All right, guys. Ah, this was sitting on my doorstep today. I'm very excited. Very excited. Um, I have not seen the unit that's in the box. Not yet. And I'm gonna give it just a couple minutes. Let's let some people log in, and I'll do an unboxing live on the air, and people can get a look and see at the new analyzers. I have not seen this one yet, so stay tuned, guys. We're gonna give it just a couple minutes. What I can tell you is I have seen this guy right here. Arkmeds, good stuff. So let's let a couple guys tune in, and we will go ahead and get this unboxing underway, because I have a feeling that this one is about the same size as that one. So let's go ahead and do this. Guys, this is an industry first. You have seen it here first. They've only had it at a couple trade shows ever, and the guys over at Arkmeds have shipped me 2 of their analyzers. I have played around with this one. This is the Harrison, which is their ESU analyzer, and I can tell you it's very promising. It's still a system that they're working on. It's in development, which means that they're working on some of the automated features, and I'm working with them on creating help screens and stuff like that that will guide the user effortlessly through this analyzer. So, oh my gosh, you guys, look at this. Of course I have packing peanuts, and lots of it. So the one that I have in this box is called the Arkmeds Luft, and Luft is German for air, and this would be their ventilator analyzer, and this one here is the Harrison, which is their ESU analyzer. And I can tell you that this guy here, it felt like a very quality product. So I'm kind of excited to see this guy, and I don't know how to do this without getting these stupid packing peanuts all over the place. Let's see. Let's do it this way then. It's freaking packing peanuts. The bane of any shipping existence. Oh my gosh. Look at all this. Well, needless to say, they did pack it pretty well. So guys, the packaging that you're seeing here is not how it comes from the factory. This is their demo unit, to which they don't even have very many demo units. And I'm really kind of honored that they sent me one of their first of each unit. So this would be technically a production model, but they only have a couple of them in the continental United States. So here I am holding a couple of them. All right, that should be good enough. Lots. Okay. Oh, yes. See, I like these little backpacks that they come in. How cool is that? Let's see. Let me make sure I'm not leaving anything else behind. So I do have a lot of questions about this guy, because I haven't really read up on it too much. You know, there's certain things that you want out of a ventilator analyzer. And one of the things that you want to be able to do, potentially, is anesthesia gases. So I'm very curious, does it have an attachment for anesthesia gases? Is it native? I don't know, but we're going to find out. And I'm sorry, I've got my phone up here, so I'm going to try and keep up with the notes as best I can. Can't promise anything though, guys. If anything, I'll try and answer your questions after the video. Oh my gosh. Look at that. I love it. It's beautiful. I kind of wish it had embroidered or something on the front, or even screen printed what's in it, because let's say you have the Arkmed system and I've got a cabinet full of Arkmeds. I would have to open up each individual case just to figure out what's inside it. So, guys at Arkmeds, maybe if there was something that was on the outside that would indicate which unit is in the bag, that would help. All right, let's see what we got here. Which one do you guys think I should check out first? The Harrison or the Luft, which I've never opened before? I don't know. Which one? Let's see. This guy here looks all nice and fancy. Oh, it's very lightweight. So what I'm doing is I'm unboxing 2 analyzers, 2 biomedical analyzers. So these 2 Biomed analyzers were shipped into me by Arkmeds, and they are allowing me to just basically tear into them and give them a critique of what I think could be better, what I like about them, and what ways can we make them better. And I have already done that with this one, and they are already working on it. Like, they are hard at work. So on that, okay, work left to right. Okay, let's put this guy over here. This is the luft, and it is not very heavy. So what comes in the bag? Ooh, okay. All right. So in the bag, I have a Y-piece adapter. I've got a microbial filter. A little piece probably for pressure testing, silicone tubing. I've got a port adapter. I have another port adapter. You can see the two different sizes right there. And I have an O2 cell. So that's a good thing. And I don't know, maybe a bad thing, because now it's another thing that's external to the machine. But on the same note, it uses a generic O2 cell. So if your O2 readings are kind of getting out of spec, all you got to do is buy another cell. You don't have to ship the whole unit in for calibration. That could probably be a huge plus. And plus, usually you can read the production dates or expiration dates on the O2 cell. So here we go, O2. And this is the luft. I have never seen one of them before. Let's go ahead and put the bag over here. Now, one of the first things I want you guys to know, it is a solid device. Look at this. So it's still got the screen protector on there. Look at that. It's so beautiful. I'm going to pull that off. I'm going to stick it over here so you guys can get an accurate depiction of the colors. So one of the things I want you guys to notice is that it's got IEC on the device. So there's no external power brick, unlike some manufacturers out there. And one of the cool things about their analyzers is they're battery powered. So yes, it's not that original to have a battery powered ventilator analyzer, but the Harrison and ESU analyzer that's battery powered, that's pretty crazy. So anyway, it is powered on right now, and now we're basically waiting to see how long it takes to boot up. It does take a little bit, I'll say that. So up here on the top, this is obviously where the O2 connects. This is probably a pressure port, and this one here is probably also a pressure port. I do wish it was labeled. That was one of the suggestions I made on the Harrison, is on the outside of the box, I want labels next to every port. So input, exhaust, stuff like that. I want those labeled on the device. Take a look. It's got a beautiful screen. You can see it scaling really quickly and automatically as I blow into it. Not that that's a very scientific method, but I want you guys to see the resolution on the screen. It does actually have a really quick refresh rate. I don't have a ventilator here, guys, and it is because this is my workshop. But I am going to go, and I'm going to take this, and we are going to put this into effect in a hospital. And I'm going to give it to a technician who's a well-known and very experienced ventilator technician. And I'm going to just give it to him without any instructions. Because, guys, one of the most essential things for me, for all medical equipment analyzers, is that it's intuitive. That's my number one thing. It has to be intuitive. Now, one of the things you can see is the menus are in Spanish, and luckily I can read Spanish, and it's not going to be that way for you guys. I do have a battery indicator up here, and I have a little X. So I exited out. It looks pretty self-explanatory. I mean, as far as an analyzer goes. So you can see I exited the system, to which then you shut it off and reboot it. But guys, this thing, it feels incredibly durable. So you can either leave it laying down or you can set it up. I'm going to go ahead and leave this guy over here in the background, and I'm going to put both analyzers next to each other. And you guys can see that they're actually extremely similar. It's the same chassis, but with different options. Kind of a cool implementation. I like the fact that it's got a large, high-resolution touchscreen. I just wish that they developed a little bit more on the help screens, because I told them one of the things I absolutely need on any analyzer that's got a nice large screen is help. I'm talking like I want a circuit diagram that shows me input, exhaust with a little superimposed image of the analyzer. I want it to show to do this pressure test, connect to this port, yada yada. You guys get what I'm saying. I want that on this analyzer. It's obviously got, it runs off what I think is a version of Android or Linux. It's probably a tablet underneath it, so it's probably Android. But that means it's also got some processing power. And if it's got some processing power, then that means that this guy here, oh, it's in Portuguese. Look at this. So let's go ahead and change it right now over to English. There we go. All right, so as far as the menus go, you have trigger. You can set your pressures, measures, O2 sensor. Okay, cool. So we can calibrate and zero out the O2 cell, which is not even connected. I hit measures, and that puts you on your numeric screen. I do not think you can configure these by dragging them around like the IMT analytics unit, but you don't necessarily have to. So one of the other things I suggested to the guys over at Arkmeds is I want profiles. And the reason you want profiles is, let's say you are testing pediatrics and now you're doing adult. Or let's say you want to set a profile for a very specific type of ventilator. Let's say high frequency or something like that. I want to do a high frequency profile, you know, or a different technician. Let's say more than one technician at your facility uses this analyzer. I'm going to have a profile just for me where I have my alarm limits and everything set up based on what I normally do. So that doesn't necessarily have too much effect on this guy, but the Harrison, it does, because you're doing different types of ESUs. And if you guys know anything about ESUs, that means every model has got different ohms presets. Every single model's got different REM, which is the patient return stuff. We'll get into that in just a minute. But I'm going to go ahead and leave this guy on in the background. It's at 68% battery power. I don't exactly know the runtime. Maybe one of these days I'm going to do a video where we turn it on and just let it run. And just, let's see how long the battery lasts. So I'm going to go ahead and take all the accessories, and I'm going to put them back in the bag. And let's dig out probably one of my favorite devices I've seen lately. This is the Harrison. This is a ESU analyzer. It's got a network box, or a it's a resistor network. Sorry. You got a power cord. It's got a series of jumpers, and it's got some heavy-duty silicone jumpers. Take a look at these bad boys. Now, I do wish these guys are a little bit longer, because I don't exactly know the configuration and how you're going to use them. One of the reasons why I really wanted the guys over at Arkmeds to generate help screens is because I should be able to like instantly tell you, hey, just press the help and, you know, walk yourself through it. All right. The Harrison. Very cool. Holy cow, guys. It's a lot of money in analyzers. I don't think I've ever had this kind of money in analyzers here in my office before. So let's go over the Harrison real quick. Looks very familiar, doesn't it? That's one of the reasons I waited to do this video, is because they are very similar. And they have an ESU analyzer and a couple other things, patient simulator, and they're all like the same heavy-duty chassis. I really dig these. I like the fact that they're all battery powered. I really love that. A battery powered ESU analyzer. Wow, it's gonna be awesome. So let's see. It looks like we have active cooling on one side. This right here is the connector for the resistor network. Should be this guy right here. So we'll connect it up. Let's go ahead and power it up. while we're waiting. All right, so again, you have IEC, so it's got integrated power supply, which is very cool because no external power brick. Weight-wise, wow, they're very similar. They're extremely similar. So one of the cool design options that this company chose is they have inserts right here, and based on the insert, it determines what type of analyzer you have. So there are different options based on what they want to build. So if they build a loft, they just put the insert in for the air, ventilator. Anyway, and then you can see down here these end caps are also what change out on different units. So they use the universal chassis that's very heavy duty, feels excellent. Different inserts. So on the top, let's see, we have a ground. I love that they're getting back to real basics. So we have active electrode and dispersive electrode together. I'm not asking for much, guys. I need it to be simple, and that's very simple. You got external load and you've got internal load. All right, so mind you, this interface is not going to be how it's going to be for you guys in the future. I've suggested a lot of different updates to this guy, and they're implementing almost every one of my changes. So I'm very excited about that. So one of the things that you start out with is power and then frequency spectrum, because different types of ESUs, you'll have different frequency responses. You have a swipe down menu to which you can go into Bluetooth, Wi-Fi, your language, card 1 and card 2. So the different cards are in fact the different functions inside the analyzer. It's different options. You don't need to get into that. But with any ESU analyzer, there is one thing that we always do. We're always changing the resistance. So here you can see we have infinitely variable resistance up to 1,000 ohms. It's plenty to do most ESUs that you know of. What I wanted them to do is to color the resistance because it was not very intuitive to me. You can see right there, 294. You have to touch 294. And I told them, if that is a area of interest on the screen, I need you guys to change the color of it or to highlight it, make it look like a button. Because in other words, I was touching all around the screen trying to make resistance changes. I couldn't figure it out. And then I watched a video, and watching a video, I seen that somebody touched the resistance number and it popped up that sub menu. Go figure. Thanks, guys. I love you guys' support. All right, hold on. So, guys, one of the things I suggested is that I want profiles. We already discussed the profiles thing. I want quick set buttons in there. So let's say I do a press and hold. So you press and hold, and now you can quick set a button because I want select resistances. So let's say 50 ohms, 100 ohms, 150, 200, 250, 300 ohms, 350, just maybe those, or 300, 150, 150, like 4 buttons or something. But I need those quick sets because when you're going from ESU to ESU, those are the numbers that you're normally hitting. Infinitely variable resistance is a no-go. That is a nightmare to sit there and set. So you can type it in. You can go here and then you can hit the little keyboard. Boop. And now I can type it in. I don't want to type in the number, right? I want a quick set button. I want to set a profile, and they're already working on it, guys. So I wasn't even going to bring it up, but it's important that you guys see that this is not the final product. I do have an ESU right here, but it is propping up my camera, so I can't test it as effectively. I'm going to do a whole video just on the Harrison, and I'm going to show you guys the final product, or a more revised product than what I got right here. So mind you, these guys have not been in the market very long, and they're competing with the likes of Fluke and Pronk, and I honestly think these are some pretty good products. When have you been able to test an ESU in the field without an AC cord? I mean, a lot of times ESUs are on a cart and the cart's plugged into a power strip, and how many times do you not have a power cord for your analyzer? I remember it was pretty common. It was a pain. So guys, this is the Harrison electrosurgery analyzer. It's got a beautiful screen. It's got Wi-Fi and Bluetooth. And the good thing about both of these guys is that they have a whole, what should I call it? It's a whole online environment that works off a tablet or a laptop, and it will do automated tests with all these. I'm really curious about this guy because if I have very particular types of tests that I do very often, then I want to be able to run those automated. Or let's say you're a bench tech. If you're a bench tech and you've got this guy sitting up on the back of your bench, you're doing one particular type of device very commonly, you can set that profile and do an automated test and just run it. So guys, we have a resistor network. I don't know how to use it yet. Some very heavy duty analyzer cords and some little jumper cables. And that is what comes with the Arkmeds Harrison. So anyway, guys, I'm going to cut this one a little bit short. This is just a premiere to show you guys a little bit of what's to come. I was so excited that these guys were sitting over by the front door of my house. And, you know, just to be honest, I was going to take a sneak peek and I'm like, nah, I can't do that. I don't want to cheat you guys. So anyway, the Harrison and the Luft, they are going to be for sale very soon. Stay tuned because in the next week or two, I'm going to have updated software for these guys. They can update them as long as these guys have an internet connection. They can remotely update them. How cool is that? So stay tuned, guys. I'm very excited to be sharing that with you. And this is an industry first. Arkmeds analyzers, and they feel and look amazing. So thank you all for watching.